Faith Off is one of the most lowest rated episodes of The Simpsons ever at this point. It's the 11th episode of the 11th season, and it's got 6.8 out of 10. Now, that in itself, when you compare it to, say, an average feature film, is not a bad rating. But for The Simpsons, 6.8, I can't even remember when the last episode was that was below 7.0. This is, of course, just on IMDb, could be different elsewhere, but it made me think, did I enjoy this episode? Because it's one of those episodes where I feel like, because it's a little bit different, I liked it, but it's kind of playing with some people's religions. Now, I'm spiritual, technically religious. I don't find it offensive or anything, but I think some people might. If you're a person who really doesn't like this episode, I'd love to know what you think of it. I mean, I'd love to know what you think of it if you love it, but I'm trying to identify exactly why it's rated considerably lower than pretty much every other episode until this point. There's nothing specific that jumps out at me. It's directed by Nancy Kruse, and Bart does something. I won't say what, I won't spoil it too much in case you haven't seen it or in case it's been a while, but Bart does something that appears to be a miracle, that he appears to have some kind of special healing powers, and what happens is a series of performances, if you like, by Bart doing these various healings, but things get out of hand and don't necessarily go to plan. And after that, Bart's very much in way over his head, and I guess people might look at it as saying, kind of people who do healing things are charlatans. There are obviously a lot of people in the church who claim to have, the ability to perform miracles, and maybe people are reading a lot into that as a commentary on that. I don't personally think the episode is going, everybody who claims that they have healing powers is a charlatan. I don't think that's its position at all. I think it's just saying this is something Homer and Bart together end up doing, and is kind of looking at them and saying they shouldn't have done this because these things will happen if you do. I realise that might not make sense if you haven't seen the episode, but I really don't want to give too much away. I tend to try and keep this as spoiler-free as possible. Honestly, I didn't mind it. I don't think there's anything funny in it, which may be another reason why it's not that highly rated. But at the same time, I didn't think it was a bad episode. It flowed well. The development of the narrative was not too bad. It incorporated a decent range of characters in it. So all the way through it, I was thinking, this is not bad. Sure, I don't think at any point did I think this is amazing, but I didn't expect it to be one of the most poorly rated up until this point. Something tells me that going forward, this might be the case with a lot of these ratings. Faith Off is not a favourite episode, but by no means do I hate it.